How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to episode number 54 of the Figuring It Out Finance podcast, where I, Chris Rickenbaugh, am documenting my journey in real estate and business while also talking about travel hacking and personal finance. So, got some cool news earlier today. A lot going on with joining the Deal Flow program, being in week one, and doing quite a bit, and actually just writing down, how many people I'm talking to, what I'm doing throughout the day. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the opportunities I have going on and a verbal agreement to buy a house, seller finance, working out the terms tomorrow, and a flip number 2 update. So before I get into all of that, go follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, where I'm posting daily. So TikTok and Instagram, I post daily on what I'm doing, flip number 2 updates, and that's where you're going to see me daily. YouTube, Podbean, figuringitoutfinance.com. You can check out the podcast there and also stay up to date on everything Figuring It Out Finance. So let's jump right in here. Flip number 2 update. So nothing too crazy. Got the yellow jackets gone in week 1, but the demo still going on. Lots of framing in the basement and the windows being installed as well. So go check out the latest Instagram and TikTok video where you can see some of the progress going on. The black windows look sweet. Got the doors put in finally. Handed out the lockbox, so now we got that thing locked in, and the roof is done as of today. So really cool things going on for flip number 2. Progress is just rolling. So now we're just going to kind of get into the meat of it, to where the framing's going up. We're looking to get everything installed to get the drywall started. So no huge updates there, just progress, which is everything I want to see. So getting into what I really wanted to talk about today is some of the opportunities I have going on, and then the 2 that I was focusing on the entire week and saying, hey, I think I'm going to close on these 2 this week, didn't actually end up being the one that accepted a verbal commitment. So those 2 opportunities, the one is pretty much a flat out subject to agreement, to where the couple bought a house and then ended up being in a nasty breakup. Everything kind of went south and just, I guess, stopped paying their mortgage. So it's about to head into foreclosure, and we got on a call. I'm talking to somebody who's not the couple. I'm talking to one of their moms. And then I said, all right, look, this is all we have to do. If they're both looking to just walk away with $1,000 to $2,000, which is what she told me, I said, all we'd have to do is take over the mortgage payments subject to, and then all we would have to do is catch up their arrears, and then the house is sold and they are done with it, and we would set up the terms to get their names taken off of the original loan. So it's that simple, but I guess they said they would rather go into foreclosure. So I have my partner working on that one. So she's going to hit up the actual owners next week through the data that she has. And then second one, been working on it. So this is going to be the house hack opportunity. So I was supposed to have a sit down with them as of yesterday, and they ended up postponing that. And I got a text saying, hey, I'm actually going to list with an agent instead of selling this to you subject to it. I'm like, hold on. So we're going to hop on a call, or we're going to be able to talk in person just about what's all going on with their situation. But I was able to break down the numbers and actually have it sitting right next to me. So selling in her best case scenario, because what we're going to be doing is we're trying to buy the house to where we can split it up, because it's a 5-bed, 3-bath. We can cut it to where it would be a 2-1 and then a 3-2, and we're going to Airbnb or just long-term rent the other side, which is going to cut my payments monthly from what it is at $2,000 right now down to probably easily under $500 to actually cash flowing on the property. So getting into the numbers here on that, because that's all pretty straightforward. I think I talked about that on one of the last ones, but going to present two different offers. So one, I can buy through my LLC, and this is all subject to here the purchase price at $378,000. I would be able to get a 70% loan to value HELOC, so I would be pulling out $90,000. So we would pay the seller right away that $70,000, which means I would probably be taking about $10,000 of that. Maybe probably around $6,000 to $7,000 would come into my pocket for any extra expenses. So I'd probably have to come out a little bit to get some of the things changed out. And then she would seller finance $178,000 on terms to be determined. So that one was up in the air. That one was the most attractive. The other one would be buying it in my personal name once my 6 months is up in my current house. So that way I would purchase it at $370,000. I'd be able to get a 95% loan to value HELOC, pulling out almost $170,000. And then the seller would get paid $140,000 and she would seller finance $100,000 to me, because she has $130,000 still left on her mortgage. So that's why it would be subject to. So she's selling the house subject to me and then seller financing a portion of her equity. And that way she would get $240,000 tax free. So running through the scenarios when she's selling through an agent, here's the best case scenario for her is that she sells it at that $378,000 number. So just think of that as option 2, me buying it personally, selling it through all that after the closing fees, taking out the amount paying off the loan, and then calculating taxes. She's going to walk away with $166,000 total profit after taxes. So that's best case scenario, selling it at $378,000. Where we're thinking it's going to end up, we're still going to give her the benefit of the doubt, selling it with an agent at $320,000, which is, I think, more realistic for that area. So after the closing fees, paying off the loan and taxes, she's gonna have a total profit of $120,000 flat. So if you go back to my second option, I'm offering her $240,000 tax-free compared to selling it with an agent at the regular tax value, which would be 50% of my option. So that's why subject to is attractive, and that's why we present it, because it's so beneficial. So she's really doubling her profits from where it's going to be. So that's why we present that option. But getting into the last option here, this is the one that kind of came out of nowhere, because this is somebody I've been kind of massaging the relationship with. She wants to do private lending to me. Just staying in touch. We want to do business together. She's an investor and she did a really good job on her properties, and she's been trying to sell it and it just hasn't been moving. So she tried to sell it at $338 was her number. That's the exact number she wanted. And then she had to drop it with the agent she has down to $298. And then she got an offer at $275. So she hadn't accepted it. And I said, well, why don't I just buy it from you? Why don't we just figure this out? So I ran through the numbers, and being able to be creative, that big number of $338 doesn't scare me, because I know how to get around that and I know how to make the numbers work. With renting it out, with the holding fees, with being able to get that done. So what happened was she said, okay, in a text. So let's do it. So what we're going to be planning on doing is buying that house as a seller, or what I'm going to present tomorrow, we're going to nail down the contract, the details, is going to be a seller financing opportunity. So we could buy this house directly. Since I'm going to be the one taking out the equity, I don't have to bring any cash to the table. This saves us both money. So no cash is going to come to the table from me, and she could sell the house to me for $1. So then she would be selling the house at $338. We can just round it up. Yeah, so let's go $338. So she's selling to the house, seller financing the house to me at $338, and we're going to set up terms to where I have to get the loan on the house done, whether that ends up being a refinance or a 70% HELOC through the LLC, depending on which bank I'm able to go through. So we're either pulling out 70% or 80%. So the seller is going to end up getting paid $200,000 as soon as we close on one of those loans. And then she's going to be seller financing the rest of her equity at $138,000 over a certain period of time. So that makes it really attractive for me because I have a partner wanting to do Airbnb. So this is exactly what we're looking for, the size of the house, exactly what we want. And then it's solving her problem and getting her money a lot cheaper because she's not going to have to pay a massive tax on this. She's going to be able to save a lot more money and keep a lot more money doing it seller financing. So I'm glad we're able to present that option. I'll definitely keep everybody updated until we officially get that closed, because it'll be going through the numbers a little bit and making sure that I can actually do this. So it shouldn't be a problem at all. I just haven't done it personally myself, but I'm learning from people that do these types of opportunities every day. So it shouldn't be a problem at all, but that's what we're going to be able to present. So she's going to get paid her total of $338 and actually take home more than if she were to sell it at an agent at a higher price, because she's going to be I'm not sure how all the taxes work. She's just going to be able to keep a lot more money at the end of the day. So that's the goal. She's able to make money, and it turns into a really good opportunity for me and my partner to start our business together doing a couple Airbnbs. So that's all I got. So that was a lot. So with two subject to opportunities, both tentative still, I head to Hawaii in a week. So at this time next week, I'll be in Hawaii. And then, so the two subject to deals, a seller finance opportunity, which is pretty much done in a text, just have to go over some final numbers and then get it submitted. And then the update on flip number 2 in week 2. So I appreciate you tuning into today's podcast. I'll be back on Monday with, I don't know what yet, but keep tuning in. Thank you for listening. You can find this podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, or if you go to figuringitoutfinance.com, every episode is going to be posted right where the blogs are. So just scroll down a little bit and you'll find every single episode. So thank you for tuning in. And this is Chris Rickenboss signing off for the Figuring It Out Finance podcast, episode number 54. We'll see you on Monday.